Hi, thank you for joining my presentation today on reviving an American retail icon, the past, present, and future of JCPenney. I am Denise Ayala. This is for the Department of Business Administration in Indian River State College. This course that I'm taking is MAN 4970 Business Thesis. My professor, Marvin Williamson, and today is July 26th of 2026. For our first slide, we have the history on the founder, where it all started, James Cash Penney Jr. Born to James Cash Penney and Mary Frances Paxton Penney on September 16th, 1875, on a farm in Caldwell County, Missouri, according to Albus of 2012, James Cash Penney Jr., also known as Jim, was the seventh child born in a family that would soon grow to 12. In a very humble family. As the son of a Baptist preacher, he held strong Christian beliefs and strongly believed in the golden rule of self-reliance, self-discipline, honor, and education, all great things, throughout his climb to fame and success in the retail industry. James Cash Penney continued to strive for greatness and make it a point to show his values within the company and hold the company to good moral standards. For our second slide, we're going to talk about the start of the JCPenney company, now that we know who the founder was. James, who was eager for an open door of opportunity, James seized the chance to become a 1/3 partner in Kemmer, Wyoming. This location was known for failing upcoming businesses, but James saw potential with what originally known as the Golden Rule store. By 1902, in the store's first year of business, Penney quadrupled his investments as the store was successful in having almost $29,000 in sales. After seeing what an extraordinary partner James was, Tom Callahan and William Johnson offered him another Golden Rule store in Rock Springs and began to include him on further investment deals and partner meetings. In 1907, after gaining success and learning the ropes of the business, Penney bought out his original partners, Callahan and Johnson, and soon began his own company operating under JCPenney Stores Company. According to Terrell 2025, from 1910 to 1912, James Cash Penney opened 28 new stores in 5 different states. Based on the Winslow Mail, 1914, in 1913, the corporation, as it is known today, JCPenney and Company, was incorporated, but still continued to operate as the Golden Rule stores. JCPenney surviving the Depression. The JCPenney Stores Company had grown at a rapid pace, according to research done by Kruger, 2014. The company opened more than 300 stores in 26 states with sales of more than $42 million between 1915 and 1920. That's incredible growth. The Great Depression was one of the darkest times in American history. It was an economic disaster that devastated roughly 13 to 15 million Americans, leaving a record high of approximately 15 million people jobless and tens of thousands of families evicted, and hundreds of thousands of Americans on the brink of starvation, according to FDR Library 2016. Unlike most companies, the Penney Company fared relatively well during the Great Depression due to having no debt, only accepting cash, and offering low prices, according to Hoover 2017. Through this great collapse, JCPenney stores continued to operate. By the late 1940s, there were approximately 1,400 stores open. That's amazing. Following the company's 40th anniversary, the company celebrated the growth from one single storefront to a nationwide department store of 1,609 locations in just 40 years. Incredible. This is according to Komen and TWHP staff 2006. James Cash Penney credited the store's success to his long-standing business philosophy of treating others as you would like to be treated. Fighting for the lead in the retail industry. With the help of William M. Batten, JCPenney Company's new appointed CEO, he dramatically expanded the brand by taking stores into main public places like shopping centers, which were growing rapidly in the United States. Many malls in America held JCPenney stores as anchor tenants and were considered a major department. To keep up with the demand of their products and evolve with modern times, JCPenney launched a mail order catalog. According to IPL.org to 2023, in 1963, when the company launched their first catalog, it was a great success and eventually became one of the icons of JCPenney's brand, hitting an outstanding sales of $200 million at the end of the decade. Along with the new mail order catalogs driving up sale, the JCPenney Company acquired the First National Bank of Harrington, Delaware. This created their very own financial subsidiary named JCPenney National Bank in 1984 and allowed them to create their own company-owned credit card business. Competition intensifying for JCPenney. As JCPenney evolved and came up with new sales strategies, so did its competitors. Although they had made great diversification plans to set themselves apart from other department stores, they eventually outgrew these plans. As JCPenney grew to dominate malls all over America, the competition grew tense as stores like Kohl's, Macy's, and Sears equally fought for first place. JCPenney became a store that catered to customers who desired new clothing but could not afford to pay top dollar for exclusive trendy clothing. The store earned the reputation of being a discount store. In the early 2000s, the department store industry was seeing a plunge in their sales. Big box competitors such as Walmart and Target began to demolish competition by offering the lowest, most competitive pricing and also making their stores as convenient as possible for consumers. As well, with the technology expansion in the early 2000s and e-commerce coming into existence, the competition intensified heavily in the retail industry. Many companies that started up with JCPenney began to go out of business, and JCPenney struggled to stay afloat. During the late 2000s and early 2010s, the retail industry collided with a great challenge that changed the way traditional department stores operated forever. This new challenge was the start of online shopping. Online shopping provided a greater convenience to customers, offered competitive pricing, and more options at consumers' fingertips. JCPenney's downfall and attempts to revival. By 2011, JCPenney was facing declining sales due to increased competition and the rapid change of the retail industry. Due to the struggles they were facing, JCPenney's board of directors sought a transformational leadership. So they appointed Ron Johnson as chief executive officer. In efforts to revamp the stores, Ron Johnson created the fair and square model. This eliminated coupons, replaced sales with everyday low pricing, and abolished promotions. These changes did not fare well with customers, and the brand began to see sales decline as customers were unhappy with the changes and losing promotions. According to companiesmarketcap.com, JCPenney's revenue dropped from roughly $17.3 billion in 2012 to $13 billion in 2013. That is an immense gap, showing the company had a 24.77% decrease in sales by the time Johnson was ousted by the board. After Ron Johnson's failed strategy efforts, he was replaced by his predecessor, Mike Ullman, in 2014. Under Ullman's leadership, the company restored many of its traditional pricing and promotional strategies to earn back customers' trust and stabilize sales. Although these changes helped slow down the company's decline, JCPenney continued to face serious financial challenges. In 2012, the company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection and underwent new ownership. My recommendations as an outside consultant. If I were hired as an outside consultant to help JCPenney build a stronger foundation for the future, I would recommend focusing on strategies that improve the customer experience, and strengthening the current financial position. My first recommendation would be to continue expanding JCPenney's omni-channel retail strategy. I believe the company should invest in a user-friendly website, improving inventory accuracy, and expanding services such as buy online, pickup in store. Buy online, pickup in store would help the company compete more effectively with retailers that have stronger online operations. I myself regularly shop at JCPenney. I'm one of those loyal customers that they are talking about. And I have struggled with navigating their app as it is a bit outdated. I have also had issues with online orders being canceled due to inventory inaccuracy. And I truly appreciate their buy online, pick up in store system rather than online ordering or walking in stores for hours. It's extremely convenient, but I do see that there are gaps in the system that can be worked out, and it would increase customers coming regularly to JCPenney. Another recommendation would be to strengthen the company's social media presence. In today's retail environment, platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Pinterest play a major role in shaping customers' purchasing decisions, especially among younger demographics. JCPenney should invest in consistent, high-quality content that highlights fashion trends, seasonal promotions, and styling ideas. Stores like Aerie and Walmart have hired influencers to promote current products and clothing that are currently in store, and they have seen great results with that. I would also recommend continuing to modernize stores to give customers a more elevated and more engaging shopping experience. And my last recommendation is financial discipline should be top priority. The company should continue to reduce their debt and carefully manage inventory to avoid unnecessary costs. Maintaining a healthy financial position will allow JCPenney to respond more effectively to changes in the retail market and invest in future growth opportunities. With these recommendations, I do feel that JCPenney has a strong future because they have such a well-established brand. And they're iconic to American history, to American retail history. So to end off, these are my references. I have some great references from Albus, H.J., Mr. Penny, Hoover G., JCPenney, The Man, A Life of Perpetual Sharing, JCPenney Revenue, Coleman R.G., and TWH Staff, Kruger D.D., Terrell E., and Winslow Mail. Thank you for your time, and I hope you like this presentation.